Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Going back to the old standby and the little halo over the shoulder. I decided to do the headset so I didn't actually bump the things over there. Good morning. Oh, Lynn, where are you? Morning. Other side of the world. Albuquerque. All right. Central Valley, Brisbane. Ah, there. Okay. Good morning to you. On the road, Flagstaff, Arizona. I like Flagstaff. It's a pretty place. New Hampshire. Thank you for joining. I'm just sitting here listening to a little bit of music on the side. Soda Springs, Idaho, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Welcome. Let me see. I want to move my notebook back to. There it is. All righty. Alberta, Edmonton, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. All over the place. Maybe I'm doing too many of these things or something. We're getting fewer and fewer. Maybe the stuff I'm talking about isn't any good anymore. Don't know. Maybe it's just that everyone's so tired of being on the computer because of COVID. If you're able to do that at home, that you just can't handle anything else on any kind of meeting on the computer, just drive you crazy. Lake Charles, yeah. I was going to say we have a few questions today, which is good. And I have some some things we can talk about from last time. I took notes down. Excuse me. I'm going to look at my phone just real quick, see if I got an answer to one of these. Just a second here. I'm going to look. Nope, no answer on that one yet. Oh, the light way over there. All right. Claremont, California, McGrath, Alberta. Yeah, Ron at familysearch.org should work just fine. All right. I'll go see if I can turn off that light. I don't know, though. I don't know if that's going to make it better or not. You don't like me with my halo, I guess. I guess that does make it better. Oh, really, June? That's weird because I still put an event over on Facebook, so Facebook should be able to give you notifications. I ought to look and see. I'm going to go look and see if I can do, there should be YouTube ones too. So I need to look up how to do YouTube notifications. I'll see if I can figure out how to do that. I got some time. Well, welcome everyone for coming. Appreciate you coming. As always, I got, some of you went into Facebook and you added some questions, so we'll do some of those. And you're certainly welcome to ask questions through the chat, through the live chat. And I look at that occasionally, and we'll answer those questions as well. One question that happened last time was, do we still track indexing score on indexers? And I'm looking into that. I tried to get a hold of the indexing team to get an answer, and I haven't got an answer back. So I'll try to get that one next time. Private memories, source memory. Can I attach it to a living person? So you can have private, you can have memories, you can have private, you can have private memories on a living person. We still don't allow you to attach a private source, a source to a living person that has a memory on it. We'll have to go look at that. I mean, the fact that it's you can set it private certainly protects the concern we had. We didn't want people to put in birth certificates or passports or anything like that about the person that's living, because that would be confidential information that would get out. I'll have to think about that one. But you can put a private memory on a living, but you can't put a private memory source on you can't take a private memory and make a source on it and put it on a living or the others. Now, someone asked, I wrote it down, but I don't know if I wrote it right. So there was one, create a duplicate source, fix it up, push go to previous page, and nothing happened. So I'm not sure what you're doing there. So I looked at that and I said, I created a new source. I started entering stuff, and then there was no previous page stuff. It was right there in line. So I'm not exactly sure. If you're the one that asked that question, you need to write me and give me a little bit more information about that one so I could check that path. And I'm checking on the mobile to see if deceased is the default. I didn't notice that, but I'm talking to my guy about it. And we're going to look and see. I don't know if we can do the change in the invalid characters. So what had happened with invalid characters as far as ordinances go, it'd probably say permission required. It says permission required, you're telling me, and instead of invalid characters. And we really should tell you why it's invalid, or the person is permission is required. And it's probably, right now, we don't allow you to enter invalid characters. We didn't really check it in the past. And we started seeing people put icons or little GIFs or little emojis in names and stuff like that. And we didn't feel like that was particularly appropriate. And so we went in the system and we made sure that you can't have any non-visible, you can't have any invisible characters, and you can't have any emojis. Now, I know I saw that California, someone actually named their kids 3 smiley faces with heart eyes. And so their official name on the birth certificate is 3 emoji icons. I have an opinion about that. I don't, but I'm sure that person's probably going to go by a different name other than that in addition. So, but that's the issue. We don't allow any emojis, and we don't allow any non-visible characters. And so if you have this permission required, you may want to check the name to see if it has any sort of weird characters in there. That might be one reason why that's not working. And private space names list under list. Can we sort it? You can't now, but that team is working on sorting. They just released today, I think, new sorting for the watch list stuff so that you can sort that. And then they'll be adding that to other of the lists. So, and I'll make sure that my guy knows about that and includes that in his plans. All right, let me see what we have here. Okay, no subscriptions. What is the latest on community trees? I keep getting an error message now. It seems to be removed. But it's not removed yet. I think it expires the end of September. So communities, this is you're talking about get satisfaction because community is still there. So community.familysearch.org is still there, but it's usually used for research and stuff like that. Get satisfaction, the company that owned Get Satisfaction sold it to another company, and that other company is going to discontinue the product. So Get Satisfaction, and they turned it off in early September and late August, I guess, early September. We contacted them, say, hold up a minute here. Why are you turning this off? Then they explained what's going on, and we convinced them to keep it on for at least another month. So the Get Satisfaction should stay up till the end of the month, is my understanding. I haven't gone out and looked at it today, but I'm still getting messages from it. So that should end at the end of the month, and then we're trying our best to get you. We think we'll temporarily move people over to. They're creating a little area over in communities, and they'll temporarily move people over to there, and that'll be a place where you can do the same comments and send in suggestions. But that communities environment is not really the same kind of environment, and not the environment that helps with getting ideas and expanding them and growing them and things like that. So so now we're looking for another product that we can use to replace the Get Satisfaction. So it's probably going to shut off the end of the month, but we hope to have the other one available before that switch over so that we can move you seamlessly over to this into the communities, but a special little area all its own. And then eventually we'll get on another product that can do the features we'd like to have. So that's the latest news. Oh, you're talking about community trees. What's the problem with community trees? You should be able to do a search against community trees and see the results, and then click on them and go look at it. So give me a little more details about what you're asking there, Nancy, on the latest. What is the latest on community trees? What you're talking about there. Bill says some of the error messages are confusing or misleading. Okay. When making a successful edit. Okay. Maybe your edit didn't actually change anything, and so the thing was already the same. You'd have to give me more details on that one. Jaylene says, what about the goofy texting abbreviations, such as using you for you? How could those be discouraged or eliminated? Well, you're talking about in names there, I assume, Jaylene. And we have to have a first name and a last name. That's sort of the things we look for, but that's a difficult one to know whether or not it's bad or good. Yeah, I'll go look. So Nancy's saying, well, is community tree still there? I'm sure they are. I haven't heard anything about that problem. Let me go look. I'm going to sign in to familysearch.org. I'm going to go to search, and I'm going to go to genealogies. And under genealogies, search genealogies. Yeah, they've taken, I believe this is one of our new front ends that they're experimenting with. You don't get to selectively choose which one of the ones you want to search, ancestral file or PRF or anything like that. You just do You enter the name, so I'm going to put in John Tanner and hit enter, and they're there. I see John Tanner in IGI, and then I scroll, and then I can filter. I can say, well, birthplace. I can click birthplace and say it's in the United States. Then it filters it, and I can just stay with the United States, apply that filter, and now I get some ancestral file and some IGI entries as a pedigree PRF, pedigree resource file. So I see all those things, 4 pages worth. So it seems to be working fine to me. Okay, so I think it's working okay. Genealogies, you go to genealogies under the search, and then enter in the name you want or you're looking for with some data, and it works fine. It's what I can tell. All right, I'm going to jump over to the other list first for one of these. Then I'll come back to those questions on the live chat. It says with a possible. This is from Jared. Says with a possible merge, we get 2 options: merge and not a match. It would be great if we had a third option, not enough data to tell yes or no, or some wording like that. Today, with only the 2 options, the only way to exercise the third option is to cancel the process. Then the merge hint, if we can call it that, stays in the system, having yes, no, and unable to determine a way to handle the possible merge would be great. So the hint goes away. Well, if you say not enough information, all you're telling me then is the reason why you think it may not be a match. So what I recommend, Jared, in that case is mark it not a match, and then just put in the reason statement for why you're choosing not a match, that there wasn't sufficient information that matched the other person for you to definitively know if this person was a true match or not. And then hit save, and then people can go see that. They can go click the view all list on the on potential possible duplicates, and it'll be there with it because it was marked as not a match. And somebody will read that, and then they could click the button to go look at the merge themselves and determine if it really needed a match. So we want to designate yes it is or no it's not. And if your reason for not believing it is, you should just put in the reason that there wasn't enough information to determine if it was the same match. Okay, that's what I recommend doing. I think that's what we were intending, because we needed a definitive yes or no. And if it's a, well, not sure, you're still wanting it to go away. So that's basically a no. And then just put the reason why you said no. Let's see, Nancy. A patron wanted divorce to display as a relationship event instead of marriage. What we found was that the earliest event displays, that is correct, had to delete the marriage for the divorce to display. And that's correct. We don't have enough room on the person page with the relationships to show all the different relationships. My aunt and uncle were married, and then they got divorced, and then they got married again, and then they got divorced again. And those are all in chronological order. We struggled with knowing whether to do the last state or the first state, and we felt like it was just best to do the first, the earliest one. So that's how we do it. And when people click into the relationship, they can see all of those events, of course, and that's just how we felt, because it gets difficult if you're going to try to make a little square like that and it has their marriage or their whatever to sit and say, okay, married, divorced, and that thing just keeps growing. And what happens now is you have this odd shaped things where some boxes are big, some boxes are small. And this is the person page is just the overview look. And if you want to get into details, you push that relationship button and see the details. So that's how we planned it. Maybe there's something we could do there. I'd have to think about it to put a little, different color. I don't know, different color or something, maybe if to know that there's more information, but we do the first one. I'm not really happy with deleting the marriage one. I understand the person's hesitancy to see that his marriage is there, especially if it was, the divorce was not amicable. And people have suggested, well, let them pick the one they want to put on it, and that just gets programmatically difficult, because every time a person looks at a different person looks at the page, we have to figure out what stuff to show, and then people aren't seeing the same things. Part of the principle of a community tree is everybody sees the same things and can see all the things that everybody else can see, and so that you can work together with all the same information to come to a conclusion. So if you want to, keep thinking about it. If you have some ideas, send them to me, ron@familysearch.org. Yeah, and so that's how it's working. So let me go back to the other one here and answer the next question. This is also from Jared. I love the suggested wording for reasons for a merge. I also like the ability to edit the comment for individual merges. You mentioned a while back your team was looking at putting such things in source attachments reasons. A good place to start that process is to go to the Family Search Wiki. They have a style guide there. One of the best is, and then maybe the link is a little spread here. Let me see. Widen this spreadsheet out a little bit. Oh, no. All right. Well, we'll take a look over there, Jared. Thanks at that URL, that wiki. But yeah, a lot of people have liked the suggested, pre-canned reason statements, and they click it. We're liking it too, because more people are putting in a good reason, and instead of leaving it blank. People just aren't interested in putting in a good reason, which is unfortunate, because a good reason statement will help deter others from making a change. That's what we've found in our research as we've studied it over the years and looked at people. If they put a good reason statement in for the next person, then that tends to help the other person not make those changes. Okay, this is Carl. He says, now that primary memories are available, a few questions. Can we specify a memory as private during upload rather than mark it as it is private afterwards? Not currently. And I don't know if we want to do that, because we don't want a person to accidentally mark, say, memories are private when I upload, and then they never turn it off, so all of their memories are private. We have to be careful about that, because we don't want everything to be private. So we prefer to just upload it, and then you can mark it private. No one's going to see it per se unless you share it in an album or you attach it to a person. So we'd rather have you upload it, and then as you're reviewing what you've uploaded, mark the ones that need to be private. And you can select multiple of them. I believe you can select multiple memories and then click private, and it will do that. Can we create a source in our source box based on a private memory and then attach it to a private person? I already answered that earlier. That came in last week. You can create a source with a private memory, but you can't attach it to a living person. All right, let me come back here, see what we have in the chat. Could you explain the policy on the names pulled from the temple list and made available for others to request? What requirements are needed before they are pulled? All right, let me just explain the way the new reservation system works with the new with. Yeah, I must have had something go up there.